Hare Krishna. Sushma Mataji, you can start.
Hare Krishna to everybody. Ajnanaतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकयः चक्षुर उन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. In the continuation of reading Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita, when he told them he was leaving, they did not understand what he meant. He had been leaving for 30 years. He was always coming and going. When he walked out the door, they thought, there he goes again. He is leaving. It was the usual routine. Everyone could see, even the neighbors. Mr. Dev was going again. He had been at home now. He was going. He would be back again. But Abhay knew he would never come back. Srila Prabhupada, before leaving my family, I wanted to get all my sons and daughters married, but some of them disagreed. But then the time is up. Never mind whether they are married or not. Let them see to their own business. Suppose I die immediately. Who will take care of my daughter? At that time we say, God will take care. Then why not now? God will take care. My Guru Maharaj used to say that renunciation of family life was civil suicide. If you commit suicide, that is criminal. But that renunciation of family is voluntarily committing suicide. Now I am dead. Whatever you like, you do. Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, give up all religion. So family is Griha Dharma, the religion of the family. But Krishna says, give that up. But that attachment is there. And if we say that feeling of attachment has to be given up gradually, then that we cannot do because the attachment is there. But if God will take care of them, if I die immediately, then why not now? His spiritual emotions were so turbulent that he wasn't thinking of going to Jhansi. He wanted to take a train to anywhere. Then he remembered some old godbrother friends who were living in an ashrama in Jharkhand, only a short train ride south of Calcutta. So he borrowed 10 rupees from a friend and bought a ticket to Jharkhand. It was a small matha. When Abhay arrived, he was welcomed by Paramahamsa Maharaj, Damodar Maharaj, and others. Paramahamsa Maharaj had been present when Abhay had first met Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, and he remembered Abhay as he had looked then, dressed in white khadi, looking like a Gandhian anarchist. Abhay explained to him, I couldn't fulfill my family's need, so now let me preach the message of Lord Chaitanya. Abhay told him how his business has failed and how he had willingly left his family and was now destitute. Paramahamsa Maharaj, when Abhay arrived, he appeared very poor, starving. He had no means. He came alone to the matha, and when he arrived, he only chanted Hare Krishna, nothing else. Abhay spent his time in Jhargram, chanting the holy name and becoming settled in detachment from his life. For several days he chanted japa almost continuously. Paramahamsa Maharaj would lecture in the evenings, and then Abhay would also speak on Bhagavad Gita. But as time passed, his thought turned again to Janasi, and he soon felt ready to go back to League of Devotees. He had to secure the buildings and go on with the preaching. But before returning, he obtained a large deity of Lord Chaitanya that he planned to install at the Bharati Bhavan. Ironically, he had gone to Calcutta to do business and raise money, but now he had no money, no business, and no family responsibilities. He had been married 36 years, and now at age 58, he had fully taken to the Vanaprastha order. Now he could dedicate his life fully to preaching Krishna consciousness. Abhay did not adopt the saffron dress of a Vanaprastha, but continued wearing a white dhoti and kurta. The people of Jhansi had always known him as a preacher with no family, ever since he had first arrived a year and a half before. Now he was returning to them with the deity of Lord Chaitanya and a determination to establish Lord Chaitanya's temple in Jhansi. Abai met with a warm welcome from Acharya Prabhakar and others, but he also met with competition for possession of the Radha Memorial. It began with a Sanskrit conference, the Bandelkhand Sanskrit Sammelan, which brought to Jhansi the governor of the province, K.M. Munshi, and his wife, Lilavati. An active social organizer, Lilavati Munshi had opened several branches of the Mahila, Mahila Samiti Sangha, a society that aimed at socially uplifting women by teaching them secretarial skills and English. Two educated Jhansi ladies, Chandramukhi and Suryamukhi, wanted such a women's social program for Jhansi, and they took the opportunity to approach Lilavati Munshi during her visit. She inspired them, and they began to talk about where in Jhansi they could open one of our social centers. Perhaps, suggested one of the ladies, the Bharati Bhavan could be used. Although Suryamukhi Sharma had been one of the sympathizers who had first approached Mr. Bhayal on behalf of Abhay Charan De and had asked that he be given the Bharati Bhavan for his League of Devotees, she felt that the lady's cause was more important, and she knew that Abhay's ownership of the buildings was not settled. The women agreed that the building would be an excellent facility for a Mahila Sangha Samiti branch and that their cause was more urgent than Abhay Charan's. Suryamukhi, assured of support by the governor's wife, called on A.C. Bhaktivedanta. She explained that his league of worldwide Vaishnavas would never take shape. He was a nice person and she liked him, but she did not think he could realize his extraordinary expectations. She suggested he vacate the Bharati Bhavan so the governor's wife could organize a women's social center. You can go here and there for the sake of building a temple, she told him. You are free to travel anywhere. But these poor women in Jhansi have nothing, so they must be given these buildings for their use. She found him adamantly opposed, sorry. No, Abhay said, find another building. Abhay argued that his work was not just for a section of people, but for all living beings. Suryamukhi left frustrated. Abhay was surprised that a member of the League of Devotee was not working against him, and the maneuver was being backed by the governor's wife. Mrs. Munshi could work at a much more influential level without having to confront Abhay directly and without his even knowing what she was doing. After she talked with Mr. Bhayal, word got around that Mr. Bhayal had been pressurized to persuade Abhay Charan to relinquish his claim on the Bharati Bhavan. Mr. Bhayal owned a cinema house in Jhansi, and there was talk that he could have a lot of difficulty with his operator's license unless Abhay Charan vacated the Radha Memorial. In December 1954, Mr. Munshi wrote Abhay in reference to his failure to raise the 5,000 rupees. Dear Bhakti Vedanta ji, she wrote, you wanted to organize there, but you could not. But I have got this institution, Mahila Samita. Why not give it to me? Abhay was of a mind to resist. He had lawyer friends who advised him that even though he was opposed by the governor's family, he had a good cause that would stand up well in court. India's traditions of respect for religion buildings was on his side. Abhay replied to Mrs. Munshi, introducing himself as a founder of the League of Devotees. He explained the goal of the League, enclosed a copy of his prospectus, and presented many statements by prominent people. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Sri Sitaram, Raja Mahendra Pratap, and even her husband, Sri K. M. Munshi, praising the wonderful work of the League of Devotees. He also mentioned that the president of the League had recently received a 100 rupee donation in Mathura from His Excellency the Governor. Mr. Munshi himself, Abhay said that although work had been going on slowly but peacefully in Jhansi, his mind had now been bothered by Mrs. Munshi's negotiations. He requested her not to pressure anyone about his occupying the Bharati Bhavan, though he admired, if you or any one of your agents do try, the pressure will be more weightful. I am a non-enemy in that comparison. So I stop here for today's reading, and we have so many things to understand here. It was such a strong decision by Srila Prabhupada to make a final decision to move out of his family, and the way he justifies himself that there is no need of him to take over the family responsibilities. Something something clicked to me when we were reading this sentence. So it is very true that, and it is also said in Bhagavad Gita, and it is said by all our great acharyas, accept those things which are favorable for your devotion and for your spiritual growth, and disregard or not to associate with that which is not helpful for your devotion or spiritual progress. So this is what Srila Prabhupada did here when he knew that his whole family members were not in favor of devotion and for his spiritual. He has to abandon them, and he did. Well, he had a very good rational letting, like telling that when God is there, he will take care. Why not now? Not at that, not after his death. Similarly, we too have to disregard and disengage ourselves which are not favorable to our devotion and spiritual progress, and opt for those situations which are in favor of devotional progress. And we do see how Srila Prabhupada has become penniless, and how he is not able to decide what he is supposed to do. And eventually he takes some time and he goes to the other place, a small village near Calcutta, and spends some time and chants. And again he comes back to Jhansi to establish the League of Devotion. So we stop here.